Hi, Helena. How are you
Hello,
today?
I am doing great.
Yeah. A lot of exciting things in your life.
Yes, yes, we're about to crash and burn it all in Chronicles of Darkness.
Yes. I mean, no one's ever had a bad time in World of Darkness.
Yeah, yeah, it's notoriously
I
bubblegum.
was rewatching season 2, and I was rewatching specifically the serial killer episode of season
Awesome.
2. I think it's like episode 2. And it's so crazy how stressed everyone was. Like, just everyone's just like, ooh.
It's hard not to freak out. It's like we're not supposed to be freaking out, but we are.
But I think that was like the first time in World of Darkness where I really achieved that, because and that's why I was so excited to go to kind of transition into what we're doing today. We're prepping for season 3, and I'm doing it way in advance so I can have all the characters, so I can actually plan out arcs and stuff. So it's not so off the cuff as it was before. Like, I can actually write down NPCs' names, so that in between episodes the NPC names stay the same. There's like a bartender in season 2 that changes names like 3 times.
So I'll be doing your recaps again. So,
Yeah, that'll be very
that makes
helpful.
everybody better.
Yes. Yeah, this is way before you started doing the recaps, and it was very all over the place. But anyway, so we are making World of Darkness characters. We are making normal humans.
Human.
Humans.
Name brand, human.
Human. The only difference from normal character creation, which you've done this a few times, so I will
Sure.
let you know.
But let's pretend I'm dumb and don't know how to do it.
I would never pretend you're dumb.
Well, I'm giving you permission.
I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Okay. I might be in trouble.
Anyway, unlike normal, each one of your attribute categories, and we'll go over this more when we get to it, each one of your attribute categories needs to have 3 dots. So mental, physical, and social all have to have at least one attribute that has 3 dots,
Oh, okay.
as well as the fact that you have to have at least one 4-dot skill and one 3-dot skill. You can have multiple 4-dot skills, that's up to you, but you have to have at least one. And it cannot be the same 4-dot skill of another player.
That sounds like pretty powerful to start with that.
It is, but it also focuses you, as opposed to you having 3 dots in a bunch of different things or 2 dots in a bunch of different things, it focuses you into being really good at one particular thing. And so when it comes to the party, like, you're kind of like the expert of the party for that one thing. So like,
It's good to bring something to the table.
and I'm not giving you guys anything extra to achieve that. So like, it seems powerful, but it's something you could technically have done with your older characters as
okay.
well. So anyway, that being said, step 1, and we've talked about this a little because like I mean, it's impossible for me not to talk about, but so we've talked about, so the first thing we need to do is decide on a concept for your character. Step 1 is the concept for the character. So what were you thinking? Let's talk it out and see if we can't agree on a concept for the character, like a raison d'etre that can change, like as we
Sure.
go. But
Okay, so I'm thinking that I am shaken assassin. So I have been working as a contract killer for a while, I guess. How old is everybody generally?
I mean, it's kind of all over the place. We have a 19-year-old and we have somebody in their 30s.
Okay, so I'm thinking I'm going to go 30s as well. And been doing that for a while, but maybe something happened recently that has caused me to question that lifestyle. So I'm just kind of taking a step back, having a romantic comedy of sorts, except I killed people.
There are romantic comedies about that.
Cool. I'm going to be
The
less
Killer Who Loved
slutty
Me, I think.
than Ruby. Maybe I want to fall in love. Oh my God. I had a boyfriend. He died. And now I'm realizing like maybe being a killer does not compatible with having a love.
Maybe killing people is wrong?
Not wrong. Just like maybe killing people when you have someone who's could get hurt in the crossfire is wrong.
So do you currently
So it's
have...
not my fault.
So the boyfriend is dead, though, right? So it's
I
not
think-
a situation where, like, you're choosing to quit the life because of the boyfriend died.
Well, I feel like it should be I'm choosing to quit, but I don't want to have a boyfriend at the
Okay.
start. Like so he either died or he quit me, and now I want,
Why can't I quit?
and now I'm like, okay, I want love, and I gotta be ready for that. Meaning, I gotta stop killing people for money.
Okay. So shaken assassin speaks to me. It was like somebody who's like had like something traumatic that's made you like, to me,
Yeah.
you're more of a stirred assassin.
Stirred.
Like
Okay.
you've thought about it and you're trying something new, but you're not necessarily shocked or appalled by your old life.
Okay.
As much as you're now, you're making sure there's nothing burnt on the bottom before you continue with the next stage of your life.
Okay.
I
I like that. I don't want to feel. I mean, I always love the arc of like a bad guy gone good or whatever, but I also like the idea of being just generally morally gray and not feeling like I have to apologize for that.
You don't have to feel guilty about killing people.
I
People need
mean,
to be
I get
killed
paid
sometimes.
good money and I want to provide a service that only very few could, me included.
You know what? Your body, your bullets, right?
Sure. Sure.
Your body autonomy is disrespecting other people's bodily autonomy.
Yeah, it gets a little muddy. But I don't need to worry about that.
All right, so stirred assassin is what we're gonna put as our concept here. Did you come to me with a name by chance, or
I did not. I got nothing yet.
does assassin have 4 S's in it?
That's
way too
how I
many
wrote
S's.
it, but that could be
My
wrong.
computer corrected me when I put.
It's
3,
just one
so-
S?
No,
Okay.
it's 4 S's. It's ASSASS.
Just one
IN.
S the second time. Well, she's so good. She's got 4 S's.
No, it's 4 S's altogether. You spelled it.
Oh, okay. You said 3 S's.
Oh no, I thought it was 3 S's and the computer corrected.
Oh, okay.
Too many S's in assassin. I just feel like you could put ASASIN and it would be the same word, but whatever.
Ooh, I do kind of like the name Cassandra because it has a bunch of S's too. We'll come back to that.
Yeah, Cassie. Hi,
No, I don't like Cassie. See, that's why I'm not sure about it.
Well, that could be part of the character. Like anyone who calls you Cassie, you like consider shooting them.
Could be.
Don't call me Cassie. All right, Cass.
I'm not 11 years old.
All right. So now we need to choose our anchors. Now, anchors for normal human characters, which is different for other kinds of supernatural creatures. But for human characters, you have your virtue and your vice. Now, in the old days, it used to be the 7 heavenly virtues, 7 deadly sins, right? They have since moved away from that, and now it's a lot more conceptual. So your virtue is your higher calling, the personality trait that represents who you are and who you are when you're being your best. Behaving in accordance with your virtue gives you a sense of satisfaction and reaffirms your sense of self.
When I'm being my best. Now, is this what she thinks is?
This is you. This is
Being
your
your
sense of
best,
self.
or-
It doesn't have to follow any social mores whatsoever.
Okay. Well, I have to imagine that I am good at killing because what's the point of being a bad assassin? So even in our fantasy world, so I guess I feel pretty competent when. Maybe it could be more complex than that. Like not when I'm like shooting them, but like when I outsmart them in some way, like my prey. Like when I'm a good hunter, maybe when I'm able to figure out what's in people's heads and kind of track them.
I mean, so like what if we looked at it kind of like hyper competence, but I'm trying to like turn it into a descriptor. Like you get a sense of self when you do things the right way. You know what I mean?
According to
you.
myself?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like when like there's no loose ends and everything's in its place and and like you don't get a strong sense of self from like things being sloppy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So like an easy way of explaining it, like you would restore willpower when everyone's like, okay, we need to flee. And you're like, no, I need to take care of a few things before we flee because I need to button up all the loose ends, right? Because that makes you feel like a job well done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, So I guess we could just say competent. Does that make sense? Or do you want to do something different?
Well, that's what's coming to mind. I mean, so if we go back to like her wanting to find love, she could also feel like a sense of self when she's, I don't know, like having a connection with someone, but that's like more
It's a little bit more tenuous,
amorphous. Yeah.
and it like kind of relies on me to put a steady stream of
Yeah.
NPCs in the
Which I don't need you to do necessarily. So yeah, I think competence works.
Yeah, because I mean, competence can be everything from like ordering from a drive-through the exact correct way. You know what I mean? Like we'll kind of have to like decide on what your character thinks like you'll have to be aware of what your character thinks should be the right way in a given situation, regardless of what's happening. Like still like have like we don't have to decide on it ahead of time. Like she wants all pencils facing this way, you know what I mean? And like it could very easily be seen as a vice to some people. I'm not saying she's like OCD. It's just like she can walk away from something that isn't perfect, but she gets that strong sense of self when she puts everything in the right box. You know what I mean? She likes things being tidy, organized, and no loose ends. So like the rest of the party is like, okay, well we can't kill this woman. She's a pregnant woman. It's like, but she saw us kill a guy.
Dark.
Well, I mean, that would get you willpower back because you put all your ducks in a row.
Great. Okay.
Then chuck that gun into a trash compactor and boom, willpower. All right. So on the opposite of that, you have your vice, your character's short-term comfort. It's an easy way out, the personality trait she takes comfort in to avoid confronting her actual feelings or problems. Like virtue, acting on a vice reinforces the character's sense of herself, even if it is self-destructive.
Even when it's
And
self-destructive.
it should not be a healthy behavior long-term. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like a lot of people go to like drinking. I drink, you know what I mean? Like, but like you can casually drink without it being a vice. You know what I mean?
Because gambling could be something like, but I don't know how, like, I guess it could be something I could do, like, what are other
Well, because
vices?
so like gambling doesn't necessarily have to be like going to the casino and rolling some dice. You know what I mean? It could be like I have a very low chance of succeeding at this, but I'm gonna do it anyway because that gives me a thrill. You know what I mean? Like
Taking risks.
yeah, like
I don't know that she'd be a great assassin, though, if she were like that.
I don't know if she would either, but remember this is something
Yeah,
that's
I could be a
negative
bad
to
one.
her. Well, I mean, and keep in mind your vice isn't something that you are like
That you're
you are
always
not
falling
compelled
into.
to ever like if you choose addiction as your vice and you like well I'm quitting drugs, right? You could technically go the entire campaign without once doing drugs. You would just never get willpower back from that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So this is something that you know is self-destructive of yourself, and it's a quick and easy way to get yourself to relieve stress and get yourself back to center. You know what I mean? So like when you're on the job, maybe you don't give in to that vice, but when you're like not doing something important, not doing something that affects your reputation, you know, like, you know, but it could be something else as well. You know what I mean?
Well, I like that. Like making bets could be a fun dynamic to have.
Just keep in mind, the
other
act of
people.
making a bet itself wouldn't recover willpower per se. It's making a bet that would be self-destructive in some way. Like if you have millions of dollars and you say, "I bet you $5," he like falls. Like that's not really.
Yeah. Well, and it could also like have like a feminist angle, like it's taking risks and that like I might pick fights with people. Like I have some sort of chip on my shoulder about being a woman and not being taken seriously. So like if I feel like I'm being challenged, I escalate things way too quickly. I don't know. Does that sounds it's kind of like risk-taking behavior. Anyway.
What does it what do you call somebody who instigator?
Okay. Yeah. prone to.
Now, but if you're instigating out of anger, it would be different than if you're just instigating to instigate.
Okay.
Like, does
I
it
like the
feel good
chaos.
just to start shit regardless of the consequences, or is it because you have a chip on your shoulder and you're angry?
Well, yeah, I don't love that because, like, if I'm competent is my virtue, I'm very dedicated to doing that. I think that being a huge risk taker, instigator would like go against that. I don't know.
Again, they don't have to be compatible.
Yeah. Okay, going back to, I guess, is there something like around the wanting to fall in love thing that we could do? Like,
I
I
mean,
could be like, I always fall for a pretty face.
lustful, you know what I mean? Like, or trusting or something like that.
Yeah, but if I were like really trusting and want to help people, that doesn't really
It would
go
be
with
really
that
hard
I'm
for you to
a
kill people.
killer. Let's go with risk-taking behavior. I think it's abstract, but I think once we're put in actual scenarios, I'll be able to figure out ways to
Can we put
emulate
down like
that.
gambler instead?
Sure.
Just because Margaret has a very similar vice.
Uh-oh. I think we're gonna hate each other.
Or love each other. You're both bad bitches. So.
Okay.
But I like the concept of gambler because it's like your character sees little success if something succeeds and like does it anyway and then gets an exhilaration for it.
I do like the idea of that, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So virtue we put down competent. And for vice we're putting gambler.
Chicky, chicky, chicky.
Chicky, chicky, chicky. Chicky, chicky, chicky. Oh, goddamn it, TikTok. Hopefully Gen Z didn't hear me say that. All right. Attributes is next.
Yeah.
So under attributes, we have the 3 categories: mental, physical, and social. We have to prioritize which ones we want to do, whether it be primary, secondary, or tertiary. You don't necessarily have to write it on there if you don't want to, just because I'll remember. But so considering this character, how do we feel like, just from like not looking at the specifics, but just like looking at like, is she a physical character? Is she a social character? Is she a mental character? And it's hard because this character sounds like all 3. So
Yeah, I think probably social we can say is the lowest one, but I'm torn between physical and mental. Probably a little more physical so I can. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
and actually, to be honest, I thought you were going to go the exact opposite direction. So that's interesting because I thought for sure you were going to put social first. But I'm reminding myself that you're not a James Bond where you like infiltrate and like get to know people. You're like get in, shoot somebody in the head, get out.
Sure. Efficiency.
Efficiency. The more people who know that I had interactions with that people, the more people who can place me at the murder. I would be a terrible assassin. I watched too many James Bond movies. Anyway.
When was there even a good one recently?
I mean, Casino Royale was really...
That's so long ago. And that's the bad one you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can't even really remember the Pierce Brosnan ones.
Me neither.
Yeah. I just really like...
to be honest, I'm not a James Bond fan. So.
I really like Bond music, but I'm not a huge fan of the movie.
That's fun.
Okay, so physical being our primary, we now have 5 dots. Count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots to place into those categories. The first dot is free in each one. And keep in mind, you have to have at least 1 3 dot, which I think is nigh impossible with 5 dots. I mean, I guess you could put them all into one.
But isn't one of them supposed to have 4 dots?
No, that's skills. So in attributes, it's just each category has to have a 3 dot attribute.
Oh, okay. All right. So what's going to help me with shooting people?
Dex.
Okay. So we'll do 3 in Dex at least.
And
should I make Dex 4 or just put 1 each in strength and stamina then?
Well, this is jumping forward just a little bit.
Oh, that's only 4 though.
but you had said that you definitely wanted to take that gun merit we were talking about, and quick draw, right?
If you think so, I need those things.
You don't need them per se, but like I want to make sure you qualify for them, and they
Okay.
have. So that one requires 3 decks, and then quick draw. Oh, excuse me, everyone. I'm sorry. Requires wits 3. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so if I put 3 in dex and then 1 each in strength and stamina.
Yeah, that works. I should not have Taco Bell. I love it so much. But
It's so
not
good.
kind to me.
That's the skills.
Okay. All right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just gonna leave those up. It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't. But
What's wrong? You don't like them?
no, they're great. They're great. I
Aren't
love
they
your
great?
little wire frame.
Why are you?
I'm weird about it. Okay. I don't write or draw things on my character
Oh
sheet.
my
Not
goodness!
you. It's just like every time, like back in the day, every time Jared would lean over his character sheet and it would fold around the table, I would like die on the inside. I'm like,
I'm gonna kill you.
even though there's nothing wrong with that, it's his life. He can do what he wants. It's his character sheet. Drove me crazy. Anyway, so now moving on to your secondary category, which is your mental.
Mental.
And this one, if you want to qualify for the really good stuff, you need at least wits 3.
All right, what's 3? And I have 4 to put in here.
You have 4.
All right, 1 resolve. Boom, and then 3 for the last one.
Yeah. Yes, 3 dots. But to qualify for the best things for your merits, you need 3 composure.
3 composure. All right, so then do I want to put this last one in presence or manipulation? Probably presence. Focus and shit.
Well, we got to ask ourselves, like, are you good at lying?
You need presence to lie?
No, manipulation to lie.
Oh. Well, I mean, I maybe need to lie a little bit, but I could probably be okay if I'm not a great liar. Because
the entire point is to not get caught.
it's just like, just sneak. I'm really more maybe try to be stealthy, sneak, and find my opportunity. And maybe sometimes that requires disguises or I'm like invisible. But
You can turn invisible.
you know, when you dress up like a boring person and you become
okay,
invisible,
okay,
yeah, like that.
Socially invisible, not like I turn.
You like
invisible.
don't wear fancy jewelry or people, you know,
Yeah.
you get a bad
Social
hair,
stuff.
a bad wig or something. She might as well be plus size like me, so you know. We get pretended that we're invisible all the time.
That's
Dark. Let's see how many times we can say dark while we're doing this.
so. That's int 2, wisdom, wits 3, not wisdom. I use the same WIS for wits and wisdom, so every time I say wisdom.
Wits.
And then resilience, resolve is 2, right?
Yeah.
And then for these guys, you got strength 2, dex 4,
Dex 4.
and stamina 2, right?
Yeah.
And then down here we got presence 2, manipulation 1, and then composure 3, right?
Yes.
Boom. How are we feeling about that? Does that speak to you as to the character at all?
Yeah, I think so.
Get into it.
Although honestly, like I need wits 3, but it would make sense. Actually, I might put this dot intelligence into resolve because it seems like resolve I would need to have if I'm going to get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps. Like a stakeout would be really hard without resolve.
All right, I changed it. There it is. Now it speaks to me.
It's kind of funny because like when we used to make characters in, like we've made characters in World of Darkness a few times, I have never seen so many one dot attributes until I introduced this three dot rule. And now that it's just weird, the mentality that now that people go into it knowing they have to have a one dot, how often they give themselves one dots in other areas that they don't even have to. Like this process has been really fascinating, like in that regard, because like I've never seen people purposely put one dot in anything unless they were min maxing, and like this group is like really like. Anyway, so now that that's all decided and can't be changed, all right,
Cool.
unless we agree on it later.
Under threat of death.
Actually, before you scroll down, you may, because I am planning on doing a very resolve heavy game, a very willpower heavy game, you may add one dot to either your resolve or your composure.
Resolve, I think. Wee, wee, wee.
All right. Now, moving on to skills. And you asked me to treat you as a newbie, so I'm going to give you the same advice I give everyone else. What I suggest before we even consider how many dots go into anything is going through and just adding one dot to everything you think the character should probably have, and then going back and figuring it out from there. Starting with your mental skills. I don't have it in front of me.
Investigation. Medicine. Crafts would be like creating.
So it's both
Stuff
artistic
or-
and practical, creating stuff with your hands.
Okay, so I'll take one in that for something that'd probably be
I can see investigation being helpful for your
I'll put one in
character,
there, yeah. And one in medicine.
and one in medicine.
And then
I can see an argument for a little bit of science if you wanted to blow somebody up.
okay. And then definitely firearms, definitely stealth, survival.
For your merits that we were talking about, you need athletics 2 and firearms 2 as well.
Okay, athletics 2, firearms 2.
And those both make sense for your character, so.
Intimidation. Subterfuge, but not only one. Streetwise probably be good.
Streetwise is a lot less restrictive than I've always thought of it, but it is still useful. Because like what we tend to think of streetwise, which is like knowing like the kinds of people who like might sell drugs or whatnot, that's actually more of a politics role. Because that's your knowledge of social dynamics and hierarchies, or like a socialized role to like read a room and know how to behave in that culture. Streetwise specifically refers to your knowledge of the neighborhoods that you are in.
Well, am I new to Tucson? I think I'm semi-familiar with it, so I'll just take the one dot on that.
Okay.
What's expression?
Expression is your ability to literally express yourself, whether artistically or what's the word?
I'll take one in
If you're
there.
going to tell a speech or if you're going to write a novel, all of those things are expression.
Okay.
You had asked if anyone had taken drive. Are you considering drive?
Yeah, if I need to.
Okay.
Nobody can drive.
Are you feeling comfortable with that's definitely what you want to put stuff in
Yeah,
where you're at now?
I think
All right. So now you have a primary that gets 11 dots, a secondary that gets 7, and then a tertiary that only gets 4.
11,
So
7, and 4.
one of your categories, which can't be physical at this point, is going to stay where it's at.
Sure. So probably the social one can stay at 4.
Okay.
And then, so this is going to be 11. So we might as well make fire. You want me to do firearms as my 4 dot?
It's up to you if that's what you
Is
want
that
to do
the
it as.
best one though?
I mean, you could do stealth. You could do firearms as a 3. You could increase your athletics.
9. Oop. 9. 10.
I would consider at least a dot in larceny.
11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I think stealth makes more sense than athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. And then mental. So what craft do I want to put in here?
Well, keep in mind that crafts just gives you like just the knowledge to know how things fit together or how to build stuff. Like if you choose a specialty, then you have to worry about the specific kinds of crafts. But like otherwise, it's just your overall ability, your craftiness, your handiness.
Okay. Yeah. I'll put a second one in there too then. Okay.
So nothing in computers, nothing in athletics. I mean, academics.
Academics? No, I don't think so. I don't know why I'd be interested in those things. I guess computer stuff could be helpful for tracking people.
Well, we might consider that maybe you have a partner that you work with who maybe has that skill.
Oh, yeah, maybe someone who gives me, or the client has to give me some background information. Yeah, okay.
Okie dokie, that looks good. How we feeling?
Good. I don't want it to be like, I don't know. I never go for the conflicting personality kind of thing. So like, I'm trying to see how this can be not obnoxious because she's sounding a little obnoxious.
How so?
I don't know.
I don't think she's any more disruptive than Ruby ever was.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I wish I had scaled back on Ruby, but I couldn't because that's how she was. So I don't want to create somebody who's naturally like that immediately either.
I mean, but personal risk and risking like to me, your gambling is more personal risk than like, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't really affect other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that I also might be of the like if she were to get into a situation where somebody disagreed on how to proceed, she would just leave and do her own thing rather than argue about it. So,
which can be problematic in its own way.
Yeah, true.
All right. Now we get to pick our 3 specialties that we start out with. Again, I really hate metaing in this way, but to get the 2 merits that have very, very heavy requirements, that's why we're being careful of it, you do need to specialize in firearms and a type of firearm.
Let's see. What's a cool handgun, like a Glock?
You can just say pistols. So, like, that means as long as it's not a revolver, you know what I mean? Like, any kind of pistol. So, a Glock.
A pistol's like more bullets than a revolver, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'll do. Pistola!
Because World of Darkness is very, very generic with its firearms. There's like 8 firearms, but like in real life, those represent like 25 different guns each.
Many.
I think it's even more than that. There's too many guns. Politics. And then we have 2 more. And what I would suggest with your remaining 2 specialties is to put things in areas where like I only took this dot because I think she has this thing. Like if you only took science because you think she's good at building bombs, like put a specialty in bomb making. Like if you only took subterfuge because it's like getting, you know, like talking her way out of something, like I would take something like that.
Can we do a specialty in investigation somehow? Like, again, the ability, like there's a merit and maybe I want to take this, but like that it just kind of gives you a bonus to like sussing out where a person's gonna head to ground or whatever, like being like a good hunter, knowing where people are gonna go, having an instinct for tracking people.
That's not really investigation though. Stealth has a specialty in shadowing people, where you're good at following people. And like to me, that's more what you're talking about than investigation. Investigation is like looking at a situation and like determining information. Watching a person and determining where they would go is much more of an empathy kind of thing.
Well, I don't have anything in empathy, so that's not going to work.
But if you
So
want
what
to
would
take
be an
stealth
investigation?
investigation, you could do investigation. You might be good at searching somebody's house to figure out what their schedule is or something like that.
Okay.
So investigation, personal info.
I don't even know where I'm going to write that. I'll write it down here, I guess.
Maybe schedule. So what did you end up putting down? Personal info?
Yeah.
We have specialty in firearms for pistols. And what's our third?
I guess whatever that stealth one that you were mentioning.
Stealth shadowing. Means you're really good at following people without being seen. All right. Do we feel good about all of that so far? Okay. So the next stage is we are going to get into the merits themselves. Now, like I've told everyone else who's done this process, what we're going to do is we're just going to go together through all of the merits. And then if either of us feels like a merit doesn't make sense, we won't take it. If both of us agree that a merit makes sense, we will go ahead and just add it to the character without thought of consequences. Rio is not thinking of the consequences of these actions. Okay. All right. So, and I gave you the little sheety there. We're going to start on the first page with mental merits and area of expertise. It might be the second page for you. I can't remember.
Well, merit starts right here.
Yeah, but area of expertise, where is that?
Oh, that's under mental merits.
Do you see your character being particular of the three specialties you picked? Do you see your character being particularly specialized in any of those things? Are you just reading down the list, or are you still reading?
Oh, is that's what am I supposed to do?
We're gonna go through them together.
Oh, okay. Area of expertise.
Do you see yourself being particularly skilled in any of your specialties?
Choose a specialty to assign to this merit, commonly specialized in one area.
So, like, if you took pistols, it means you're like super specialized in pistols.
I mean, no, I don't know that I need to do that.
Okay. Common sense. Do you see your character having common sense? I can say that somebody's already taken this merit, but
Okay. I mean, it's a good one, but I think we can move on.
danger sense, direction sense.
Detect impending ambush. No. No eidetic memory. No encyclopedic knowledge. For the strange, I have no occult, but that sounds fun. Fast reflexes. I like that one.
Yeah. So that adds to your initiative, so it makes you even better at initiative dots.
Cool.
That is a 1, 2, 3, so you can commit as much or as little to that as you would like.
Okay. We'll just do one, probably.
Okay. All right. Good time management.
Nerd.
I think your character would have good time management, but I don't think she does a lot of things that are extended roles, so that's not super useful. Holistic awareness, do you think? Indomitable.
This is an iron will. She can stand up to a vampire's mind control. That could be kind of cool.
Actually, to be honest, of all the characters so far, your resolve is so high that actually might be something you consider. Like, she just has such a strong sense of self and who she is that she, like, fuck you.
Well, that would kind of... Yeah, I guess I haven't decided whether she's, like, going to start feeling bad about things or not, so...
I mean, but this is just who she is. This is, like, if somebody's trying to control her.
Yeah. But I feel like if you're, like, not sure whether you're a good person or not, like if you're exploring that, like you might not have the best sense of self. So
Okay.
investigative aid.
Investigative aid and investigative prodigy we're skipping because they deal very specifically with a mechanic I'm not 100% sold on. Do you see yourself speaking any other languages?
Not that I want to spend dots on it.
Library or meditative mind?
I like meditative mind. I think that one also is kind of cool.
Okay. So how many dots in meditative mind do you think? It's a 1, a 2, or a 4?
I mean, I think 2 dots to just get that 2 dot benefit.
Okay.
How many dots am I gonna spend on merits though?
We don't know.
Oh, okay. So yeah, if I wanted to, I guess to do the 2 dot version would be nice for that.
Meditative mind 2. Don't see you being particularly multilingual. I do see her being patient for sure.
Oh, sure. When taking, and he may take 2 additional rolls. I've been waiting in this bunker for days.
So professional training doesn't really qualify for your character because that represents training at a particular job, which I can see tolerance for biology.
Yes.
A lot because you do.
Yes.
Funnily enough, culture has that one too.
I would think so. Trained observer.
That's the one you were looking at, right?
No. These are all the mental ones still.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to anything else yet.
Good gravy. Okay, not virtuous or vice-ridden.
Well, but let's look at trained observer.
Okay, well, I think that one also kind of makes sense. Catching tiny details, digging for secrets. You might have a better chance of finding things, but she has a better chance of finding important things. Benefit from the 9 again quality. That's nice.
On your 3 dot version, you get 8 again.
8 agains. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that one makes sense too.
Okay. I'm going to put you down for 3 on that
one. Ooh.
Just because, to be honest, like, the kind of assassin you are, being able to, like, observe people from afar, not get involved, not ask them, like, you basically kill your targets without ever speaking to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, for the most part.
And so that would require you to be very observant and, you know what I mean? Like...
Okay.
Vice-ridden and virtuous basically give you a second virtue or vice. I don't know.
I don't think I need to try to figure that out.
Ambidextrous is important if you ever want to shoot with 2 guns whilst jumping through the air.
We watched that last night. Nicholas Angel.
You think you ever wanted to shoot 2 guns whilst jumping through the air?
You ain't seen Bad Boys 2. I mean, that would be nice. I think, I mean, how does one choose that? Like, you don't choose to be ambidextrous. You just are or you aren't.
That's why you can only take it at character creation. So if you want it, you have to take it now.
Okay, let's go for it then. It's everything fire sale.
You're not particularly an automotive genius. You're not a crack driver.
Demolisher.
I don't think you qualify.
No, double jointed. That I don't know why we'd need that. Oh, I could be a contortionist.
Yeah,
I kind of like that one actually too, because it could be so helpful that I get into small spaces.
Yeah, you want to take it?
Sure.
It's like being like, here, pick all the cool shit that you want, and then just like letting somebody loose.
That's nice. Fleet of foot.
I don't see your character being particularly fleet of foot because you don't run from stuff. You casually walk away from it.
Yeah, I disappear. No giant, not hardy. Greyhound. This is the one I was talking about where you are... Wait, your character works best when chasing or being chased. The hunt is in his blood.
Again,
chase to receive the effects of an exceptional success.
You don't chase your targets. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know that I mean not like literally like running after them, but like hunting them. Like,
This specifically refers to the chase
okay,
mechanic.
all right,
So,
forget.
like,
Oh, because of athletics, I see, and stamina.
yeah, so this is
Okay.
very specifically. I see where you're coming
Yeah.
from. This is not that.
Okay.
Uh,
Iron stamina, probably not. Parkour.
let's not go too
Oh,
crazy. Iron
okay.
stamina, like it's your ability. I've been shot and to
Resisting the
keep
effects
going.
of fatigue or injury. Yeah, I guess again, I gotta finish this job.
So I can kind of see, like, even if you only take 1, maybe 2 dots in it, I can definitely see that for your character.
Okay. Okay.
How many?
Let's do 1. Oh, excuse me.
You're excused. I don't see you doing parkour.
No.
Quick draw, almost requiring you to take. And what's great about quick draw is, like, technically when a fight starts, if you have a gun, you have to draw the gun on your first turn. With quick draw, that's just part of shooting it.
Okay.
You can draw and shoot it on the same turn.
Oh, that's
why
very
it's
handy.
very, very handy for you.
Relentless, I feel like, is similar to Iron Stamina, but different.
Again, it's
concerning
specific
running. Okay. Seizing the edge.
More
No
running.
more running. Sleight of hand. No.
No.
Small frame. No. Stunt driver. No. Okay. Allies and social merits. Okay, so I don't. Yeah, like I don't necessarily do brand new to Tucson, but I don't necessarily need to have allies if
Well,
someone
so
else
an
has
ally
allies.
doesn't necessarily need to be in Tucson, though, because an ally
Oh, okay.
might be your friends, employees, associates, or people your character has blackmailed. It's basically people you can go to who will do stuff for you. So if you have an ally in New York or LA or whatnot that does computer stuff for you, like, you could leverage allies against that person to have them do the computer stuff for you. Now, that's not necessarily very useful in this group because, like, Hank is kind of a computers guy. So this
Sure.
would, if we did take allies. So my argument is if you do want to have that guy in the chair, I wouldn't go with allies. I'd go with something like retainer or something like that. Somebody who's a lot more loyal than an ally is.
Okay, that makes sense.
Alternate identity is something that I would really consider for your character.
Identity. All right, that makes sense. I've got to have at least a couple of them.
All right, so that means we have to take it multiple times. So you have your real identity, right? How many? So, and then you want to have at least 2 other identities, right?
Probably.
How solid do you want those identities to be? Like, how confident are you that people are
Good enough to like flee the country.
good enough to flee the country?
Is that up there somehow? Yeah, 2 dots
Yeah, 2
supported
dots.
with paperwork and identification. It's not liable to stand up against extensive research, but it'll turn away private investigators and internet hobbyists.
So 2 dots. So 2 dots.
Okay.
2. Ooh, those are at signs, not 2s. How rude. And are you writing it twice or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's why I was like, we're picking a lot of these.
You're not off the grid, so I don't think anonymity works unless you want to be off the grid.
This means purchases must be with cash or falsified credit cards. She issues identification. I mean, like, I'm not being anonymous. I am like underground, but I still have these IDs that present like to the open world. So I'm undercover. Okay, barfly no. Closed book. Your character is particularly tough to crack.
I don't think you have the manipulation.
Yeah, no, I don't. Contacts.
Contacts can be useful, but again, like, one good retainer could qualify for, like, because contacts are like I know somebody in the police I can call who might give me information, but like if you have a guy you work through, he probably has the contacts, and then you're further removed.
So still,
from that.
we're back to retainer.
Yeah.
Okay, fame, no. Fast talking, I don't need that. Fixer,
You don't have contacts.
no. Hobbyist, click.
Yeah. So hobbyist click. You choose a skill that you at least have 2 dots in.
No.
And then, like, it's a group of people who all are also into that particular skill. It might be funny to be part of like a knitting circle or something like that, but that's up to you.
I may want to do something that will allow me to meet sexy singles, maybe. So
I don't know if knitting's the place for that, but
no,
maybe.
you're the one that brought up knitting.
I'm just saying.
I'm talking about sexy singles.
We know some sexy male knitters. That's all I'm saying. And that's if she's heterosexual.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be pan. So, okay, inspiring. No,
Inspiring.
Iron Will.
I can't see Iron Will.
Very similar to Iron something else. Iron Stamina. Actually, Iron Will makes more sense now, seeing it against Iron Stamina, because Iron Stamina is like, you never stop. Iron Will is that it's like, it's different. It's the same, but it's different.
Well, one is like, okay.
Well, this is for social interaction.
Yeah, so somebody's trying to seduce you or lie to you or something like that.
That's not the same thing. Okay. Mentor. I didn't really think of anybody. So no.
I think maybe you had a mentor in the past, but I don't think it's somebody you still keep in contact with.
Yeah.
Because a mentor has leverage.
Ooh, maybe that's the person I fell in love with, but then he was like, I will not be with you.
Maybe.
Okay.
Part of a cult?
Cult, no.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
You don't want to be part of a member of the Sisters
Only if I'm
of
the
Machine
leader.
Gun?
Only if I'm the leader.
You're going to start your own cult.
So, yeah. Pusher.
I don't think you have.
Temps and bribes. Resources. I mean, it's always good to have some of those.
I would say probably resources 4.
Nice.
Like if you're looking to retire, you probably have a pretty big nest egg. You know what I mean?
Resources. Retainer. That's what we were talking about earlier. We'll say.
Well, let's go into retainer.
Someone I can hire.
So, well, it's not somebody you can hire. A retainer is more reliable than a mentor and more loyal than an ally.
What? It's the It's the most reliable of those 3?
Yeah.
Wow, that's weird.
Well, because so like retainer makes you think that it's somebody that you pay, but that's not necessarily what it means. Like a really loyal dog is also a retainer.
Okay.
Your character has an assistant, sycophant, or servant, or follower of whom she can rely. Establish who this companion is, how he was acquired. It may be as simple as a paycheck. It might owe the character his life.
It would be kind of cool if it was like another assassin that I trained that I keep trying to get rid of, but they just really like me. Why would they like me? I don't know. But
I mean, maybe that's where love blossoms, in the last place that you look.
Oh, that would be very rom-com-y.
I was thinking you'd have more of a guy in the chair, but it could be another.
I do want a guy in the chair, yeah. That's what I want. So
Okay,
just
so
one
you want
dot.
to do that for your retainer?
I want somebody I can call that will be able to look up certain things that I might need to find out.
Okay.
And I know Hank's going to be computers, but like outside of that, like somebody I can be like, can you give me an ID on this person? Do they have any priors on this person? Do I have to worry about this address? Are there any jobs going on around here? Stuff like that.
So 3 dots represents a professional, right?
Okay.
Somebody who does it well. And then 5 dots represents not only somebody who's incredibly loyal to you, but is also one of the best at what they do.
I mean, I would take 3 dots. You think I would have? I mean, we can work up to 5 dots maybe with this person. So we'll start with 3. That's all my lines.
I don't see you. Is there a page 2?
Yeah, there's 2 more.
So you can put under other traits.
Okay.
And how many we put in retainer? 3?
Yeah. Safe place.
Now, safe place is something that I'm kind of like pushing people away from, just because I don't want you guys to take it. I think that's something that should be established during the story per se. And also, if you're living invisibly, like you said, there's no need to have like a super secure place. I don't see you doing small unit tactics.
No. Spin doctor. No. Staff.
Staff would be another way of buying your guy in the chair, but they're never going to be as competent as he is.
No. Status.
Now, status is something that you might take, but I don't think that you have status in an organization as much as like you kind of have a reputation as an assassin. But I think that reputation as assassin you try and distance yourself for. So I don't think you can leverage it as a merit.
Okay. Striking looks. We don't have to go there. Sympathetic. No. Table turner. Your character can turn any attempt to leverage. Nah,
Requires
probably
manipulation
not.
3.
Takes 1 to know 1. Crime aligns with his vice, however, takes a criminal to know a criminal, and your character has a deep-seated understanding of his particular weakness. No, not yet. That's the fun, is finding that out.
Taste.
No, probably we don't do that.
True friend.
True friend.
This is what Hank had for Hunter, to where I could not kill that NPC.
Oh, okay, probably not. Untouchable. Your character commits crimes and always is a step ahead. I would like that one.
Okay, we'll take it.
Untouchable.
It really fits what you've described, so I can't really argue with it. Then we're skipping over supernatural merits and down to fighting merits. Armed defense does not qualify. Cheap shot requires street fighting, so we can maybe come back to that. You don't have brawl, so chokehold is out. Close quarters combat, again, I don't see. Defensive combat, I don't see. Fighting finesse, firefight. This is the one that I would highly suggest taking. And that has a requirement. This is why we were so specific of composure 3, dexterity 3, athletics 2, and firearms 2. I would take it.
Very specific.
2 dots in this because shoot first basically lets you add your firearm score to your initiative. Now, at without the quick draw merit, which is why I had you take the quick draw, you have to have your gun already out to get that benefit. But with quick draw, you can draw it and still get the benefit of the firearms. So your 4 dots in firearms get added to your initiative regardless, as long as you have a gun on your person.
Sure. Okay.
And then the 2 dot, why the 2 dot is so important, is you can do what's called suppressive fire. When doing that, people can't aim at you. But the most important thing, and it's almost like a tiny, tiny little thing, you can apply your defense against incoming firearm attacks.
Wow.
And then I would almost consider taking secondary target as well, which is the 3 dot. Because what it lets you do is if somebody is behind full cover, you can shoot an object and drop it on them. So
Where
it's
is
like it's the 3rd in
it's still
firefight.
in firefight. Okay, here we go. Secondary target. Ooh, that's ricochet. Okay. Cool. So I put 2,
3.
but 3 could be something I work towards. Or you think I can have 3 to start?
You can have 3 to start if you want.
Okay.
I don't see any of the rest of this really applying to your character, so
Okay. Yeah, let's call that good.
unless you wanted to take
Iron
fighting,
skin.
but you don't qualify for it.
Shiv. No, I'm good. Yeah. Oh, well, police tactics. No, I don't need that. Unarmed defense.
Well, police tactics actually might be good for you, but you don't have brawl, so.
Yeah.
All right,
I am
that's that.
not gonna want to get close to nobody.
Nope, as far away as possible, please. I would like 1 far away for 500, Alex. All right, so that was a lot. So let's count it up. I have Untouchable 1 and then Firefight 3.
That's 30 dots.
Is it really?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 23, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Whew. It's up to you. Do you want to remove stuff? You're allowed to have it.
I mean, if I'm allowed to have it, yeah, I'm gonna take it. So.
Okay. It just means everyone else is going to have more experience points starting out. That's all it means.
I mean, I don't mind that. I want that for them.
Okay.
So.
All right. Moving on to next steps, shall we?
I want that for them. Speed is 5, right?
Hang on, let me.
Oh, okay,
I
my
have
bad.
all this stuff
I
here.
thought it was like automatic with human.
All right, so your
Human.
size is 5.
Oh, that's what I was thinking, maybe.
Yeah, size is 5. Your speed is strength plus dexterity plus 5. So 4
Oh my god.
plus 2, 6 plus 5, 11. And then I think you took fleet of foot, didn't you? No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. No running. I'm not a runner.
No running. All right, defense is going to be the lower of your wits or your dexterity, which are
Probably wits.
3,
3. Yeah.
plus your athletics dots.
3 plus 2, 5.
You don't have any armor starting out. Initiative mod is your dexterity plus your composure.
4 plus 3, 7.
Plus, hang on, you also took fast reflexes, so you add 1 to that.
8.
All right, and then health is going to be your stamina plus size, so 5 plus 2, 7
Health,
is health. Yes.
7. I'm just going to write 7.
Don't want to do the dots.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, because you do the X's. My
Yeah.
bad. That turn into asterisks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You do dashes that turn into X's. That's
7.
asterisks.
Okay.
Willpower is resolve plus composure,
Composure 3 plus 4, 7.
which puts you at the most willpower by far
2,
in the group.
3, 6, 7. About 7.
And then your starting integrity is 7.
Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, so just some final things to like just iron out about the character. We're done picking stuff. We're done doing dots. We're now into purely mental categories. Besides being a hired killer who you are semi-retired from doing, do you have any
Who wants
other?
to fall in love?
Do you have any other jobs? Like, do you have a day job?
So I would imagine that, yeah, I tried to get like a real person job coming back to Tucson.
With
and-
absolutely no experience on your resume
Yeah,
whatsoever.
Yeah. Like, what do we think? Like a grocery store, barista.
Up to you. All entry level.
bookstore.
Grocery store.
What about like some sort of somebody who works at a hospital? Because like maybe I steal drugs sometimes.
Okay.
But not like a nurse, like not anybody high up, but
Well, I don't think anyone lower than a nurse would have access to
yeah,
the
probably
drugs.
not. But I could steal people's keys and stuff. Like I could do.
Why don't you just work in a pharmacy then?
Okay. Yeah.
so
Great
like
idea.
a cashier at a CVS or a Walgreens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put down cashier.
Cool.
Any family? They don't have to be in Tucson.
Yeah.
They're just like family in general.
I think so. I think maybe, yeah, my mom's around. Maybe my dad died young. So me and my mom have a rocky relationship, but we try to make it work.
Okay. How often would you say you probably like, contact your mom?
I mean, maybe monthly. every
Okay, so she's
couple months,
probably not
she's
going to be a huge part of the story.
No, I
Okay.
don't think so. But she's.
Any siblings?
I think I feel like I'm an only child, like
Okay.
real kind of a lone wolf more on that, which is maybe why I want to fall in love because I'm wanting somebody to share my life with finally, but it's gonna end up being a bunch of misfit friends, I guess, who will fill the void.
I know at least one other character has put in their aspirations that they want to have a love story arc, so.
Wow. All right. Well,
um,
it's not Jake, is it?
no.
Okay.
It was
Just want to make sure. Oh, okay.
so it's not going to go anywhere.
Cool. Okay.
Friends? Aside from your retainer? But we still need to decide who
yeah.
that is, by the way.
Maybe a friend from college.
Okay. What is
who
his
knows
or her name?
knows nothing about my true life, but Yeah, his or her name.
Or some descriptors.
Colin.
Okay.
And he's a nerd friend. We'll just say he's my nerd friend.
And then your retainer, is your retainer your guy in the chair, or is your retainer another assassin who just happens to have those skills?
I think it's a guy who's also an assassin, like, or who also is paid to do black things.
So he's like a black hat.
Ooh, yeah, just like a general black hat. But I want him to like have skills that are more, yeah, where he can like access computer files or look up stuff like that.
Okay.
Cool.
Do you know who this person is, or do you only speak to them anonymously?
No, I want to know who they are. Like we've met a couple times, but we mostly communicate.
May I offer you
Okay.
that you don't know his actual identity?
Okay.
Like, you know who he is online. You have, like, you know what I mean? But like
we've never met
face
in
to face.
person. But we have a fun rapport
Mhm.
digitally or telephonically. Okay, that's fun.
Okay. And don't
Razor Wire is his
And-
avatar name.
and then don't be alarmed, but I'm gonna remove your retainer dots.
Oh, okay. That seems rough. But
It is definitely
just erase it retainer.
stuff.
Just erase it retainer altogether, or
Yep.
what?
But trust me, it will pay off in the end.
Okay, cool. As long as I think I have somebody to ask questions.
You do,
To,
you do.
to do this kind of stuff.
You have a very connected person who knows all about your secret stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've never met that
And
person.
he's better than that 3-dot retainer as far as stats go.
Oh, boy,
He's a
okay.
5-dot retainer.
He is a fucking 5-dot mofo.
All right. So now we need to ask some questions to make sure this isn't my husband texting me.
Bitty, 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 bitty.
So integrity
Ooh.
integrity in the new World of Darkness isn't just like how it was before. It was like, if you burn down a house, you have to roll a roll.
You burn down a house.
It's now much more tied to who you are as a person.
Sure.
So like for you, killing a man when you're getting paid isn't like a breaking point,
No.
right? But killing someone because like you had to, or you know what I mean, like you have mentally separated it to where like killing for money, one thing, killing for like pleasure or anger or like personal reasons would still be a breaking point for you.
Sure.
Right? Like even if it's in self-defense, you know what I mean? Like you have completely compartmentalized killing somebody for money.
Mm-hmm.
So like if somebody's paying you to do something, like you are much more separate from it mentally. Also seeing like horribly misfigured bodies and stuff because of your tolerance for biology also wouldn't really affect you. But I'm going to ask you a series of questions. And keeping in mind, like I said, killing for money is completely morally, I don't want to say black for you, but it's just like not a thing you think about. Okay? What is the worst thing your character's ever done from her perspective?
Oh my goodness. So it would probably be something around I made a mistake on a job and not only did the job not get finished, it got blown up somehow. So maybe when I was first starting out, I had like a partner where we would do jobs together as we were learning or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that partner got killed or hurt or whatever because of something I was something negligent about that I was supposed to do to make sure everything went smoothly.
Explains your virtue, like that feeling of like doing things right.
Being competent and doing it right.
Okay, what is the worst thing your character can imagine yourself doing?
Oh. Killing the president of the United States.
What if you're getting paid?
Exactly. If I'm getting paid, it's the worst thing I could do. Or that's like the biggest job I could have.
No, but see, we're not thinking of that because, like, again, you would be morally okay with killing the president if you were getting paid to do it. We're talking about what is the worst thing what would make you a monster?
Oh, shooting up a school of children?
So, like, killing kids.
Sure.
You guys have basically forced my hand to kill some kids in this campaign.
Wow.
A number of people who are like, children are off limits, no children. So during the third session,
And animals. Throw animals in there too.
Are you a vegan?
Yes.
Vegan assassin. I would never. So I think you don't wear a lot of leather.
No. What a cliche. Leather.
Or whatever, Lake Morgan with her iconic leather jacket.
Yeah, well, she's dead. I lost in a wormhole.
All right. What's the worst thing you can imagine somebody else doing?
Okay. Well, let's say human trafficking, maybe.
Okay, so like the enslavement of people.
Yeah, enslavement of people.
So your character has a very strong impetus on freedom.
Free will, yeah.
Freedom and free will.
Freedom. Even though I'm ultimately taking away their free will if I kill them. But
What is something that your character has forgotten about the supernatural nature of the universe?
what is something she's forgotten?
So it's something that happened at some point in her life that gave her a peek into the supernatural that she has either repressed or explained away.
Okay, what's the question again?
It's like, it's basically, so something at some point in your life, your entire life, you brushed up against something supernatural, like werewolves, vampires, ghosts, something like that. And then you either repressed it or explained it away. But like it's still in the back of your mind. So it could have been that the house you grew up was haunted.
My father.
You're haunted
Ghost.
by your father as a child?
Well, like as a
or-
child, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to put down haunted house. And then I'm going to put, maybe dad. Because like you were a child, so maybe you thought that it was
Yeah,
your dad.
sure.
But not necessarily. And then what is the most, so like the worst thing you ever done, the worst thing you can imagine yourself doing is you. What is the most traumatic thing that's been done to you?
I was kidnapped
Oh.
and held hostage. Maybe, I don't want to say like for ransom, but that's like the most common thing I can think of why somebody would take you hostage.
The most common reason somebody would take you hostage, and trigger warning, I can speak of this, is to...
Sex slave you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
or
mean,
murder you, and then it just didn't happen for whatever reason.
I got away. I don't know. My ghost dad helped me escape.
Let's not make light of escaping.
Oh, sorry. This is so dark. That's, yeah, I would say that again, that kind of just is on theme with me wanting to free people.
Well, and
or
personal
not be
freedom. And
personal
like,
freedom.
My question for you, and like this isn't part of the thing. We're basically done. I just want to know, how does she coin her need for personal freedom and her killing people for money? You know what I mean? Because like technically you're taking away that person's freedom.
Yeah, but I feel like the people that are gonna be contract killed are that being that like the client has a reason they should be
But
dead.
is she kind of like blissfully unaware, or is she like vetted before she kills somebody?
I mean, I'd like to say she vets it, but
realistically,
maybe she's gotten complacent, and that again has led to like this feeling of like, I don't know that I want to do this anymore.
okay. And then this isn't like, don't feel pressure, but like, what are some things you would like to see for this character? Not what the character wants, but what does Helena want from this character's personal arc?
So I want to start the game still kind of lying to myself about why I'm taking this break. Like, I know something feels wrong, but I haven't quite confronted that maybe I should stop killing people. So like maybe making her truly see how bad that is, or that really is something she wants to leave behind.
It's almost like a breaking point for personal growth where she figures out why.
Really does decide, okay, now I want to be a better person. I maybe would like I don't know that I want a full on love arc, but
we can just put romance subplot.
Yeah, maybe romance subplot. I mean, that is part of what she wants and what I'd want for her.
You want your own Carol?
Yeah, and I guess to develop a strong bond, friendship bond also with somebody else in the group, probably.
Okay. She's a person who's lived. We are wrapping up.
You'd share.
So just to just reiterate the broad points. So we have a character who's lived pretty isolated. You know what I mean? No real connections to anybody else because you need to take these contracts. You take these contracts through proxies. You know what I mean? Like it's not anything. You know what I mean? Who's now in like having basically a midlife crisis, quarter life crisis.
I'm 35. I'm going to be 35. So, I mean, that's not, I don't know what that is, but yeah.
Quarter life crisis.
A crisis, a life crisis.
She's having a crisis where she really wants to connect with people to the point where even though she is independently wealthy, she is taking a cashier job.
Yes. To meet the public.
Where she's probably not treated fantastic.
But those shelves look amazing. And everybody gets their sale prices.
Whether there's a sign or not, like you get 10 cents off. Her boss is like, hey, you gotta stop getting
No, according to the sales, I'm not giving random people 10 cents off. I'm saying, oh, the computer's wrong. I'll fix that right now.
Yeah. This coupon is expired, though. Get that shit out of here.
Paper cut.
All right. Do you have any questions or thoughts for me before we end?
No, I appreciate you giving out like a lot more dots. I know that that's your thing, right? Mm-hmm. That's not a new thing.
You should have gotten 7.
Honestly, oh wow. Honestly, like it's so rare that we even use the dots in Chronicles of Darkness sometimes that it's just nice to feel like I have a lot of things to draw from. Mm-hmm. So cool. I'm excited of what you're gonna cook up. So nice.
And with the removing of those 3 from retainers, you are now at 27 merit points, which definitely puts you in the lead.
I'm the favorite.
I don't know if that's the case, but I mean, you are my favorite. Don't tell the others, but but yeah. So that was character creation with Helena.
Yeah. I don't have a name still, but we'll figure it out eventually.
I put down Cassandra. So.
Oh, that was my preliminary name.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to choose a last name for you. So.
Oh, well, I was... Okay.
What? Unless you have...
I was going to say Troy, but is that like a person?
Who was the lady from Star Trek? She was something Troy.
Oh, Deanna.
Okay.
Deanna Troy, I think.
I think as long as it's not Star Trek, we're fine.
Okay. Well, I was thinking of like literal like Greek history. But...
No, that's Helen of Troy.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of, which is really close to Helena, so that's kind of funny.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We're going to try and figure out how to stop this recording from here.
It's one of these.
It's the one that's light gray. But before you hit that, thanks for joining. Just one left. Just got to grab Jake at some point. I think I got him coming up on Wednesday, and then I can start working on this campaign. But like again, as I said, you will be seeing this on Patreon. I have no idea when this campaign starts, but I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row. All right.
We're the ducks. And I'm the favorite duck.